Welcome, Muddy TV Cribs, to my crib. So this house was originally built by Edward and Virginia Prince in 1889, and Harvey Chatton was the architect. So the woodwork I really love. It's got walnut, cherry, oak, and maple. So it's throughout the house, and it was the woodwork that really sold us on getting this house. And we've been here for almost 18 years now. You'll see in the kitchen, it didn't have this flooring because that's where the servants would have been. And it's a full 3-story house, so the servants lived on the 3rd floor. But the woodwork was on the 1st and 2nd floor. When the house was originally built, it was at Queen Anne, and I'll show you a postcard, an enlarged postcard of what it looked like in 1889, but now it's the Tudor style. So this was the fancy parlor. And of course, there's 8 different mantles in this house, and this is the only one that's marble. It's the Carrara Italian marble. And it would have been where the princes would have had their special guests come to this parlor. And it also would have been where, unfortunately, Edward Prince and his son-in-law, Guy Knoll, had their funerals in this room back when having, the funeral in the house was not unusual. So probably laid out about where the pool table is today. So it was, but not on the pool table. It was front page news back then. Their daughter, Mary, got married in this house, and she would have come down, that was again front page news, and she came down the front staircase. There was an orchestra, probably 3 or 4 piece, playing the music, and she got married in the bay window in this parlor where our little Christmas tree is today. So I always imagine, it said there was a bower of flowers in the bay window, and she would have gotten married here. So that front parlor did not have a wood-burning fireplace. It was a gas insert. But this would have been a wood-burning fireplace. And we put gas logs in just because it's a heck of a lot easier to just flip the switch and have, a cozy fire. And we like to sit here in the evening. If we're not watching TV on that half of the room, then we're sitting in the fireplace, front of the fireplace, reading a book here. We have portraits first of my 2 daughters, so Santana and Gayla, when they were 4 and 6, and my nephew painted this when he was in high school. Well, when Gayla just had children, we've got 3 grandkids, I asked my nephew to paint their portraits. So we have Alice, Quinn, and Aubrey, and so he did their portraits when Aubrey was 4 and Alice was 6, like their mom and auntie were. So we have the family portraits here. And the stained glass window was not original to the house. It was put in sometime shortly before we moved here 18 years ago. But it was a local artist who did it, and I really think it added a lot to the room.
What's this chair right here?
This?
Yeah.
This is my husband's tilt table, so it helps with his back pain. So yeah, he gets in it and sits upside down to stretch his spine. And we thought, well, we could put it in the bedroom or could put it in here. If it's by the TV, he'll use it. So that's what this is. The house has something that a lot of people will ask me, oh, is your house the one with the elevator? And so the second owner of the house, Dr. Schwanberg, in 1950, he turned what probably was the coat closet into an elevator. It's called the Shepherd Home Lift. It still works. And when I had my hip replacement, I used it to get up to the bedrooms. And the grandkids think it's cool to take the elevator for a ride. In our dining room, again, it's decorated for Christmas. And we My husband in particular likes to collect art. So these are pieces, some of them by local artists like Bob Cook's watercolor of the house. This is a Fritzie Morrison painting that we like of the three ladies. So in the kitchen, the thing that we've added to the house, we like Roman mosaics. And so we've done them in the kitchen, and I'll show you the one I put in my shower and the one on the sun porch. So every house, every owner, I guess, puts their imprint, like Dr. Schwanberg put in the elevator, we put in mosaics. So we do have a dog. Yes, I took our little schnauzer to the office today so that he wouldn't be barking the entire time that you guys were here. But at the back door, this is a reproduction of Cave Canem from Pompeii. So it is beware the dog in Latin. So he's a little black schnauzer. We figured he needed his warning sign, right? So this room originally would have been 3 rooms. It would have had a butler's pantry and then a servant's eating space, and the kitchen was actually, the sink was on that side. But before we bought it, this was a bed and breakfast for a while, and they opened it up to a big kitchen. But here's the picture I wanted to show you of, so here's the postcard of what this would have looked like in 1889. So you can see it's Queen Anne with the turret, a very small, much smaller wooden porch. And then today it's with the stucco and beams, Tudor style, which with the big extended stone porch. Well, it wouldn't be a Cribs episode without seeing the inside of my fridge, so here you go. My husband's a cook, and there's always a lot of leftovers sitting in our kitchen fridge. And of course, you got to keep the grandkids' current pictures on the fridge too. So the nice thing about the Harvey Chatton design is that even though it was a Queen Anne, it's a very spacious floor plan. So all the bedrooms interconnect, and they all open into this central hallway, which is unusual. A lot of Queen Annes just have a narrow staircase and everything just is on a one narrow hallway, but this is a circular plane. So I'll show you the first mosaic that we bought. And this bedroom got turned into my husband's office or study, library. And we had had these cabinets made in Hannibal where we lived before we moved here. And I said, we're not leaving those behind. So this was the only room that had a wall uninterrupted with a window or a piece of, like a radiator where they would fit. So that's why it wound up in this room, and it's off the sun porch. So the first mosaic that we bought is out here, which is a little chilly today, but as you can see, it's actually a recreation of a Roman mosaic with Dionysus in the middle with other gods and goddesses around. And it's made with little tesserae, just like they would have done 4,000 years ago. You know, they were making mosaics with little pieces of stone, and figured if it lasted for the Romans, it'll last here for a long time too.
Kind of looks like John Fletcher.
Yes, from when he wore a toga in Animal House. Exactly, you are right. He was a perfect Dionysus. This bedroom got turned into my closet because, well, I needed more space for my clothes, right? And my hat collection. So that's the reason for for all of this extra space. And then this bathroom would have been put on probably in maybe the 1980s, but we added the mosaic on both the floor and the wall of the shower. So this is Artemis, the water nymph. I thought, well, wouldn't that make a great place for a shower? This is a guest bedroom, and it still has the original mantle with the tiles. And this was like the Shepherd and the Shepherdess. I think it was a Byron love poem that was very popular with the Victorian era. We bought the Buddha at the St. Louis Art Museum. And because he was blue, he looked like he'd be good in that niche. So this is like, you can see all the rooms interconnect, and this is the bedroom we use. And it too has original tiles. This one has birds, I think swallows. And we also have a lot of art from our favorite watercolorist, Brenda Beck Fisher from Hannibal. She did this one, which is a view of the Mississippi River. And then she did this piece, which is the Van Gogh moon coming up over the Mississippi River with both the Hannibal and the riverboat, and then the Mississippi Queen was coming up river that night. So we used a photograph that she created a watercolor from. So this is a shower that was not original to the 1889 house, but was put in 1922, and it has like 5 shower heads, so it was state-of-the-art from the 20s. This bedroom we decorated for the grandkids, and it started off with 2 girls, so it was the tea party room. But then my daughter had a boy, so then my husband had to add a little corner here for, this is a World War I outfit for a child. And so that's for Quinn and his airplanes, and so we have it decorated for both the girls and the boy. And I guess the last bathroom is the original bathroom for the 1889, so it was, you know, the clawfoot tub. And my husband says, oh, we need to take that on and put in a shower, but it's original to the house, and I really like, you know, the fact that there is original clawfoot tub. Well, do you want to see the 3rd floor?
Well, what's up there?
So when we bought the house, the flyer said that the 3rd floor had a ballroom. Well, clearly, this staircase was never meant to climb in a ball gown. This staircase was for the servants. It was steep and narrow. We don't know how many servants they had, but they had multiple. I mean, it was big rooms. So we put 2 beds in here for when we have overflow, like at Thanksgiving. People were sleeping in every bedroom. And this is a speaker tube, so the servants could be called from the kitchen or the bathroom if you needed, you know, extra hot towels. Unfortunately, we don't have any servants today to call. But they had their own, you know, bathroom up here. They had their own little, they had their small clawfoot tub as well. So, you know, they had a nice place to live. My understanding is girls from out in the county would come in and earn some money to develop a dowry. And so it still has original gas light fixtures. So there would have been a, you know, bare flame with a glass tube. So those were left up here on the 3rd floor. And there's another bedroom that probably would have had, you know, more than one servant sleeping here, but we don't know, again, for sure how many they had. But this collection of girls. We had different foreign exchange students from Belgium, Germany, Latvia, Peru, Japan, Brazil. So we enjoyed getting to know exchange students when our kids were in high school, and we have gone to visit many of them, which is a nice way to visit the world and see other countries. It is time for you to get out of my crib, so goodbye, muddy TV.